say one thing, they'll post out residual and then get a new wife. Then at that point, we have to
check yourself before you wreck yourself.
Alright guys, what's up? Let me know if you guys can hear me, and we'll go ahead and get started. Cool. Seems to be working. So, got a few people in here. Gonna go over a couple things. I'm gonna look at BTC. We're going to look at ETH. We're going to look at ETH BTC. We're going to look at Solana, AVAX, MOG, Ondo. And then for stocks, we're going to look at Tesla. We're going to look at Coinbase. I actually haven't looked at that in a minute. And then I'm going to also look at a couple other things. So DJT, Donald Trump's media stock, which could get a significant move after this weekend with everything that went on. Have been in this one currently. Might look to add if I can get in tomorrow. We'll see how it goes. And then I'm also going to look at Redfin, RDFN. And then there's one more. It's called Open, which is a stock. I'll cover those briefly at the end there with some of the stocks, but I will look over Tesla. Tesla is a good one that I've been in. It's been pumping pretty hard. But let's start with Bitcoin here. Yeah, Tesla's 300. That was, I believe so. But let's look at Bitcoin first, right? We're back over the midpoint of the weekly fair value gap that we had over here. just if you want to look at it on a higher time frame, we look good. I mean, when you're going to your monthly, let me pull up the one with the more data. Where's that? Here we go. Just gonna remove everything from this real quick and just look at it. So on the monthly, I mean, this held extremely well. Extremely well. You get in wicks down here, big candle so far to start this month, 2 weeks in. And even if you look at this quarterly, so about 3 months, I mean, this could be an insane candle just on the quarterly basis. We have a lot of time left in this quarter for this thing to completely go up. So this could be just a classic retest, one red candle, gig ascend. Overall, I do think it looks really good here on a higher time frame. Your weekly, you're set up with a pretty big hidden bullish divergence here. I mean, great bounce so far over here. Still looking pretty good. Your weekly held that 50 line. Once we start creeping up, we get above the 60, 70 range, that's when you're going to see some of your bigger impulses. See how we held here, this area, had a couple candles, and then we start getting some impulses up once this RSI starts to get up here. So this could be a big move, setting up for a big move on the weekly. I mean, 3-day even looks pretty good. Looks really good in my opinion. I mean, look at this. Setting up for a nice move here on the 3-day, and this can take a few weeks to play out on a 3-day here with your divergences. So you got nice divs here, 3-day. You got your MACD here looking to cross potentially soon. Look what happened last time we got some crosses. I mean, we had one right here, big impulse move up. We had one down here, big move up, huge move, started it. We had another one down here. Yeah, so what? We came back down, blah, blah, blah. But if you bought here, you're not complaining at this point in the cycle. So high time frame, we look great. We go closer to a daily here. Can mark out significant levels. We are back above these levels here. We had a nice impulse move up. What I'm looking at here and what I've seen is that we have an ABCD pattern. So this is using harmonics. When you have your harmonics, you have an 886 for your ABCD. You look for a 1.13 extension, and that tagged it right here. So this is looking good to me. You came back down, you retested it, and you got to move off of it. So we are currently long. I was long from around this area. I've been adding to it, and then BTC is still my largest spot bag at the moment. And I'll go over your guys' comments too. I just want to go ahead and update everybody on where I'm at in the market, and just go over everything. We filled this daily fair value gap down here as well, so that's good. This weekly one was filled. I think you had one on the monthly that's been pretty much tapped into. 2 week, that one filled. I mean, overall, it's looking good. We're leaving some daily gaps behind. Maybe we get a little rollover if you guys are lucky where you can get in. But overall, looking good. We'll see how tomorrow in the market reacts. I'll go over some downside potential opportunities, like if it does happen. I don't think it's gonna happen, but I have everything marked out here with some daily and weekly order blocks and breaker blocks, mixing in a little ICT with the harmonics. If you're looking at the 3-day here, this blue one is a potential bat pattern. I saw some people posting it saying it could be a Gartley, all this, blah, blah, blah. No, this is a bat. You have your 0.5 and then 886. So if it's going to come down, it's going to be a bat. It's not going to be a Gartley. You don't have a 618 here. This is a 0.5, so that would be a bat. And then I marked out some levels. So we got the weekly breaker block down here that you can see, just higher time frame, right in this area. You have another order block down here that we didn't even tap. And then we had a daily breaker here. You can actually see it, this black handle right here, last down one before up. And so far we're impulsing, we're actually above it. What we want to see is us get above this midpoint here and hold this as support into this breaker block and look for continuation higher up to this, up into the top range of your higher order block up here. My thought process is we're going to come up, maybe break above this, consolidate for a little, and then go. But we'll see. There's one more thing I do want to show you. So this is what I've been watching, just overall with Bitcoin. Higher time frame. This is Nvidia over Bitcoin. So if you look at Nvidia's chart, I just took the ghost pattern and I relayed it over Bitcoin, and sure enough, it's been following it really closely. Like, this is just exactly what Nvidia did, just over Bitcoin. And this was the last sweep. This went a little bit lower than the pattern area, but it's crypto. You can see that happen. So let's see if this is going to be our impulse up, consolidate over this all-time high area, and then ultimately break out of the bull flag, hopefully consolidate over the bull flag. Because if you're looking at this right here, this is the flag that I had marked out for a long time now. This low here into this low, if you guys remember. Oh, sorry, there's this one. Let me just tag these on real quick because I messed that up. Boom. Oh, what am I doing here? This is the one I gotta grab. And this is going up here. And this one's going here. All right, so that's what I had, right? And that's the flag. And this is what I would want to see, high time frame is what I was talking about, is we would come up over the flag here, break above it, start consolidating up here around the all-time high while you're back testing this flag that we have on a macro time frame. And this could just be a high time frame bull flag for continuation upwards is what I'm eyeing. So far, that's macro what I'm looking at. No reason for me to be bearish with the completed ABCD pattern here with a weekly fair value gap sweep in a bull market. I mean, so there's a few things that are lining up with this. You got harmonics, you got the ICT area. You're also looking at Wyckoff accumulation here. Let's see if I can pull that up and overlay it real quick. Give me 1 second. So this would be Wyckoff reaccumulation. Let's see if I can paste this over real quick for you. So I've been looking at this for a while too, if some of you guys remember. There's a couple different ones for reaccumulation. You have one that doesn't sweep this low down here and goes, and then you have one that does sweep it. So if you guys remember, I was telling you there was multiple ones, so just be careful. But this is what I'm looking at. It looks like reaccumulation to me. So if you're overlaying Wyckoff over this, it's pretty fucking good, right? Like if you're looking at this, this could be your impulses where you're starting to move up. This would be your accumulation right here, your retest of that bull flag area. You get that, your breakout, and go, hook and go. So this is something to keep an eye on. It looks really close, and it looks great on top of everything else that I see lining up with this. You had your daily divs on the lower time frame as well, which also gave me another go signal, which I got long. You can see that on RSI and MACD down here. So all the signs are there, right? You have your div, you have a lower low in price, you have a higher low in your oscillators, and we sent so far. So you have a bunch of things lining up here on Bitcoin. ETH, I actually haven't looked at ETH as much because I'm still pretty much looking at Bitcoin for my main trades here. Let's just clear this off and we'll start fresh. Alright, so ETH did sweep the low down here again. Barely swept it looks like. But, I mean, overall this would be like ideal entry for me for ETH, right? Like this Gartley pattern would be ideal. But, I mean, it doesn't have to come down there. I mean, we just don't have to. But this would be an ideal entry for ETH. Say ETH ETF gets denied or something, God forbid, and ETH does come back down, but Bitcoin's going to be taking the lead again or some shit. That would be ideal, 25.5. I don't know if it's going to happen though. Lower time frame, we do have some harmonics on on ETH. We had our T2 of our shark that got hit, and that's been pretty much the low for now. Like on that 3-day, you can see that Gartley pattern, or on the weekly that I was pointing out earlier. This one would be a bat pattern. But it was on some exchanges triggering on a 3-day for the Gartley. But overall, it does still look pretty good. I don't think this is anything to be worried about as long as BTC is still looking good. My preference right now, I know we still have the potential ETH ETF, and say it does get past. High time frame, I can show you like the levels I'm looking at for that. Overall, I still think ETH looks great high time frame. Let me see if I can. Don't know if I have them charted out, but I'll show you real quick. So this is what I had. It's on a different chart, I'm assuming. But we had an 786 here. 0.8, so that's like right next to 786 within the range. We have our low formed over here. You're looking for your 1272 from that area, which is around $6,000. So that's what I would be looking at. Watch for breaks. We start getting breaks, maybe we get break above this, we get an impulse up to this all-time high area, maybe come back down, blah blah blah, and then go. But ETH, I mean, I'm looking at 6K, 59.53 to be exact. There was another harmonic here, but that one did get invalidated with the sweep of this C, so I will not be playing that one. This one was only what I was eyeing if we put in a higher low here. Say this stopped like right here, then I'd be looking for the 1618. For a deep crab, but this swept a little too low for me, for my likings. This could be max 886. So that's still the 1618. I mean, it's a level to watch out for. I think it lines up over here by all-time high. So that's what I'm looking at for ETH. ETH BTC is one thing that I was watching, and like I said, I could still be really wrong about this, and ETH pump with the ETF approval. I don't think ETH is going to have as many inflows as Bitcoin did, personally, at least at the beginning. And right now, we haven't broken above this on the weekly, 2-week. You can really see this trend that we have. We have a downtrend on ETH BTC, and we haven't broken above it yet. If we start breaking above this, maybe my thought process on ETH BTC and ETH will change. But until then, I'm looking for ETH BTC still at like 0.036, 0.037 area. And that's like ideal level for me. You have a Gartley complete in here. You fill the monthly. Fair value gap completely down here. You come and you tag the 886 or the 786 here. And then look at the support on a monthly. You got support here, support, support, support. The 2-week, you can actually see it a little bit better here. Support, candles, bodies up here, bodies here, like that's just such a good inflection point for us to come down, complete a Gartley there with BTC, and that's still a 30% drop, man. I mean, that could happen with BTC skyrocketing over the next few months. We have Trump, he's going to be speaking at the Bitcoin conference potentially, and with everything that just happened, all eyes are on him at the moment. So if he actually comes through and does speak at that, I mean, that could send Bitcoin pretty far on top of money inflows and everything, and just the cycle. Historically, after the cycle, 365 days, you at least get 100% pump after you're having it. So that's what I'm looking at ETH BTC. So I have two things. If we break above this, maybe I'll look for a retest and a trade on it. If not, I am still eyeing down in this area. Sorry guys, I still own ETH. I'm not gonna be selling ETH down here while I know reversal's close, and even if Bitcoin outperforms, Bitcoin's still my larger bag. But yeah, that's what I'm looking at there. I'm gonna go into Solana. Solano, for some of you guys out there. I forget who it is. Someone called it Solano the other day, and I was like, what the fuck are you saying? Alright, let's go to the weekly. Alright, so it's still holding. I don't know if you guys remember, there was a bullish bat down here. And I said the bullish bat is completing above the midpoint of the breaker. As long as we hold this, I can see continuation upwards to your $328 mark. So high time frame, that's how I'm trading this thing. I'm not day trading Solana at the moment or anything. I'm mostly spot for this next stage of the cycle. I will start taking some trades here and there more often when conditions are favorable. But here was your bullish bat pattern that you had. Came down. My first initial long was from here. We sold up here around 185 on that one. And I have not got back in with leverage. I took that money and I started to buy back in these areas with spot instead. Solana is about, I think, 11% of my portfolio at the moment. Mostly BTC, ETH, and Ondo. But Solana is probably my fourth biggest position at the moment. So that's what I'm looking at. Potential harmonic that formed here, maybe. Yeah, so you have a potential butterfly here. This is a little low, but it's still close. So 1272, which is around 235, which lines up right around here, right around the 886 too. Let's see if we look at this on the weekly. Yeah, so that's a good area, 235 with that butterfly. It could be a nice impulse move. So we'll keep an eye on that. But yeah, even Scott's harmonics stuff caught this bat down here. So that looks good. Let's check the divs on this one, like high time frame and everything. Let's see if we got we got a 3-day green with a dot. So we have a dot in the 3-day. That looks good. Green dot. Yeah, all right, cool. So that looks good. You're holding the 50 on the weekly RSI here. I mean, that's also a massive hidden bullish divergence that we're forming that can send this thing much higher, at least past this high. So overall, this looks good. I mean, you're holding the 50, man. Look what happens last time over here. You held a 50 after we were up in oversold area, come back down, held a 50. We went again, much higher. This could be the same exact situation over here. This could be playing out for Solana. Who knows? High inflation though, at some point maybe the music stops. It might be a good short going into a bear market. But for now, signs are pointing upwards. I will point out a high time frame harmonic in case some type of nuke happens. Where is it at? Here's the Gartley. In case something high time frame happens, you're looking at $85. That would be an area that I would be eyeing, somewhere around 85. That could be a, yeah, I'll take a look at that one too. Vega. Stacks is a good one. BTC beta play. BTC is going to be popping off. That'll be a good one. I'm going to look at, actually, I just ended Solana. I was actually going to look at your favorite coin. I haven't checked your chart yet because I wanted to go over mine first, and then I'm going to check yours. I'm going to go over, I'll actually look at the Bitcoin pair too. I'll look at AVAX, Bitcoin pair, and AVAX. And then I'll actually, I got MOG and Ondo after that. I'll throw in Stacks real quick after AVAX, and then I'll go to MOG and Ondo. I need some water. I'm dehydrated this weekend. All right, so AVAX. This is Vegas, baby. I think AVAX looks pretty good. I actually took a position on AVAX too down here. I am in from around 25 bucks. So I took the 886 pivot from this old harmonic that we had here. And from there, I am entering on the retest of that. And then if you can see the weekly, we didn't even close any candles below that. We just had wicks into it. Wicks into this order block that we had on the weekly. So that's a good sign for me. That was an area where I was like, you know what, if we're gonna hold a pivot like this, we could get a nice impulse move off of this pivot. This reminds me, even though this is high time frame, this reminds me of Gala on the low time frame. So, oh my gosh, what a chart. What the, why do I have all these like that? All right, here we go. This is the one I was talking about, but it's on the daily, and I'll just show you like what an 886 pivot looks like sometimes when it doesn't hold, and then when it goes back into the 886 pivot. I think I had a white line here too or something, which is why it's looking weird. Probably when I change my chart colors. Yeah, there it is. Okay. So this is just an example, kind of a AVAX, right? So when you have an old harmonic here as your 886, and then you come back above it like AVAX did, and then you come back down and retest it as a pivot, this old harmonic acts as an inflection point into the future. So this is what I'm seeing in AVAX, where it could be doing the same exact thing. You're coming back down into a inflection, a harmonic pivot point, and you're looking for a impulse move up off of that. This one was actually really beautiful on Gala because you retested it and you had a massive move after. But AVAX also has like some beautiful harmonics and everything going on here. But this is the same thing, just way higher time frame than I'm watching on AVAX. Like you came up, you had a nice move, you're coming back and retesting this inflection point. So we'll see what happens. I think it's a good area. You're protected by this order block. I just have my stop, it's spot. So it's just down here, because I think this is a good area to add. Probably I would close it out if we lost this, but this just shows if this is the trade that you want to take, it's like 4-to-1 odds. It's a great area to enter. From here to here, this was a perfect 618 move up. So when you have a 618, you look for a 786 over here for your D point. This is your bearish harmonic, and you also have a fair value gap up here. You have a weekly order block resistance right below that. And this is a 1414 too if this is the bottom. So that was actually a great area because over here, I mean, it was like not a Fibonacci ratio number, but a 1414 is a Fibonacci ratio number. And that's what you have right here, or at least a harmonic number. So that's what you want to look like on a Gartley. If you can have a 1272 or 1414 or a 1618 on the Gartley, those are ideal numbers. So 618, this one's between a 382 and a 886. You have a 1.414, 786. So this is a beautiful harmonic. Could also be a beautiful short for a trade. in the future, just a low leverage 2-3x, maybe swing trade back down into this range. So this is what I'm eyeing. There'll be levels I take profits on the way up, but I think we're at least getting up here. AVAX BTC, beautiful chart. This is another one I've been eyeing. If you guys remember this was the area I took my first AVAX trade of the cycle, was when we came down and tested the support region down here that we've had multiple wicks into. It was actually pretty much peak of bottom on AVAX. You had a fallen wedge, breakout, retest here, and then go right into the weekly order block. So you went right into the midpoint of the weekly order block here, rejected it, which gave you a 0.855, which is plus or minus enough. It's right in range for a harmonic for a deep crab, which obviously around the B point you find resistance most harmonics. So this would be a good trade. Even just up to here is 184% if this area is going to hold. If we start getting above this and finding support above this, yeah, maybe you can take another trade up, but you're still higher risk in this area. But this is low risk entries down here. Yeah, AVAX respects it crazy, man. It's actually insane how well it respects it. It trades it very well. But yeah, maybe have like a fallen wedge here on the BTC pair too. We'll have to, I don't know, I'll look at it later, but I mean, you're forming divergences, so we'll see what happens. Overall, it looks pretty good though. And you have your full 886 retrace, so like if you're gonna pin a fib from here to here, I make a zone, like I save something for like a 786, 886 zone. And so I'll just put that on some of my charts like this. If you see this red box, it's usually a 886, 786, and that's like a reversal zone that I watch. And you can actually see, just putting that on there, it's been bouncing in between it, right? So this is like a good accumulation area. I'm gonna look at PAL real quick because I forgot to add PAL. Because I use the same thing on this one. I have a reversal zone box, which PAL, I have a bag of PAL as well. I think this thing could easily 10x. It's AI coin. You have a perfect bullish bat on it. 0.463 within plus or minus 5%. 786, 886, 2.0 pretty much. And sure enough, I said I was adding more down at 1934 area like 3-4 days ago in the Discord. I was like, hey, we're tagging the 886 again. I'm adding some more money into this thing. I think I put, I don't know, a little bit more into it. You got a nice fallen wedge here. Overall, this one looks good. But this is the zone, right? This is what I'm talking about, the 886, 786 zone. We can accumulate here. Then we watch for the breakout. Let's go over to stacks. And then I gotta get back on track here. This old chart, old chart. Let's go to weekly on this. So there's a bunch of areas over here for stacks, and there's, if you guys remember back in the day, I was like, dude, look at these fucking ratios. You have a 618, you have a 382 in these areas, and I was like, this is a perfect area. You have a breaker block over here, you filled the fair value gap like right at the midpoint. Like stacks is looking right. This was back at like 44 cents. I remember this long. I bought some spot here too. This was a good trade. But stacks looks strong right now. Let's see if I can, I'll just probably delete this chart. Oh yeah, look at this. So at the same time, like why I was looking at this area earlier and why I got out of stacks is because, oh my gosh, if I can pull up my old charts on stacks, it fucking respected the shit so much. There's a perfect 618 here. So I had a Gartley. I was like, okay, we have a 618. We come back down here. We have a bullish bat, or this is shark, sorry. we had the shark. That was the same time that Stacks was bottoming out. So we had the shark pop up, this blue one. I was like, dude, this thing's going to the 786. We tagged the 786, and once you hit a 786, this thing can turn into a butterfly. So Gartley's can turn into a butterfly. Once you have a 786 D point resistance, which turned into a B point for a butterfly sometimes. And then this probably came down to a 786. Oh my god, it's so close. Yeah, this is beautiful. This thing can go up here. If Bitcoin's gonna go on a crazy rally, Stacks can absolutely fly. This looks nice. Oh wow, yeah. Forgot I had this. Such a good chart. I'm gonna see what Scott's stuff has on it too. Oh dude, we're almost breaking above the 50. Came back down, retested 200. This looks good. Oh wow, that looked nice back test on the 50 there. What do you got here? Any 2 day, 3 days? Oh, Scott's stuff got the 3 day too. 3 day Gartley, same Gartley I had. That's amazing, dude. I gotta see if I can find this thing. Alright, I'll look for it at a different point. I don't know how to operate this thing with the YouTube open. I probably put it in my BTC pair things, but oh well, this one looks fantastic. So I like this Vega. Now let me get rid of all this shit for now. It's moving hard. What's a fuck you candle getting put in right now? Wow. I know Scott's software doesn't catch it, but I mean, it could be like a cipher. Or a shark. Yeah, it looks good. Yeah, it definitely could be. Yeah, that's what I was looking at too, Vega. This looks good. Alright, let's get back on track for a little bit. Mog. So if you guys remembered, MOG was an entry down here that we had on the bat. I think I got in around here. Been back holding this one. We took some profits up here, started to re-enter down here on this previous all-time high that we had level. So I re-entered down here. I'm just trading a spot. I didn't want to try to get fancy on an entry here. I tagged right here. So I took profit here. I think we had about, if I remember correctly, it was like 30% drop. And then got back in and we're riding this one. This was my overall target, but I still think this goes much higher than this. But I will probably shave some more off here and then let the rest of the bags ride. Another one with Popcat. Popcat also good coin. I'll just pull this one up because it's like MOG. It's the Solana version. It's a cat meme. I think cats are gonna run. This one's cup and handling, pretty much, kind of similar. But I think this one, once it breaks out, it's gonna run pretty hard. If you look at some of the other meme charts that look like this one, forget if it was WIF or one of the other ones, but if you take the fractal, I'll have to show you guys at some point, but if you take the fractal of it and overlay it over this thing literally like 5-10x's from here. But I think this one looks good. Let's go to Ondo. So Ondo is one of my bigger positions here. So there was a Gartley on Ondo, which is where I added some back in from 137. I think I have it marked off here. Yep, here we go. All right, so Gartley, if you guys followed me for a while, I say it in almost every stream, it's my favorite pattern. I'm not gonna not bid a Gartley on Ondo, which is one of my favorite coins at the moment. You had a 618 pullback, you had a 618 pump up, 786 completion. Boom, go. Perfect, just trend too. I mean, look at this thing. Couldn't ask for a much better like retest into an area to bid. I mean, it's not broken yet. You got a Gartley pattern there. Go to the weekly, you tag your order block on your weekly here. I mean, just so many things that lined up that I was like, yeah, I'm going back in. I'm adding some of the profits I took. And still, Ondo's actually my second biggest bag. It's bigger than ETH at the moment, just because I truly believe that we're gonna get a really big push with ETH and tokenization and everything and real world assets, and Ondo's one of my bets for that, and it has been, and it wasn't always gonna be one of my bigger bags. ETH was gonna be, it's just gone up so much that it has became one of them. And I might shave some and put it into ETH. And I already have shaved a little bit, but it's just been performing really well for me. All right, so those are the main ones I wanted to cover. I even covered PAL, which is in my port. Let me see what else. There's only like a couple others that I'm holding. Just some are not as high value that I'm holding versus some of the ones I went over. C-Pool is one I'm holding. This is another real world. Sorry, I can't speak today. I'm tired. Real world asset coin. And I added back down here and here. Just overall, I mean, when you're zooming out on this thing, you're getting double harmonics. Chart looks like this. Real world asset. I think it's gonna catch a nice bid at some point in the cycle. So I don't have a ton in this one. But I do have a bag of this because I like holding the real world asset coins right now. But there's other ones that might be a little bit better. We'll see if I'm going to have to rebalance this one or not. But Ondo's obviously way bigger than this one. It's the main guy right now. You guys should be placing bets and consolidating bets into the main plays. Those are going to be the leaders at the beginning of the market. All right, let me go over to my stocks. So I'm gonna do that, and then I'll go over some requests for you guys. So Tesla is one that I've been in. If you guys remember, this was the initial area I started paying attention to Tesla again. This was the beginning of 2023. We rode that up. We put in a perfect 618 here for the B point. And there was a Gartley-like pattern here where I started to bid, and then we actually wicked down, but I'm buying long-dated options, right? Because I see the 618. Once I see the 618, my target is the 786. So I'm buying 2025 options. So I saw this dip again, and I scrounged up some more and bought some more down here. And so far it's been playing out pretty well. This is the 786, this is the 886 zone. I have that marked here. We chopped a little bit between them for a few weeks, but my options started to really print pretty heavily the last few weeks here, and it looks like we got a classic back test on a breakout of a downtrend that we've had for a long time, almost 3 years. Isn't that crazy? So this thing could just gigasend, man. I really think it could. But we do have the Gartley up here at 346, so that's gonna be a resistance area, I would assume, if we start breaking above this area. And we really want to gigasend things into a bull market. We can turn this into a crab pattern for a 1618 at $600 for Tesla. So just keep your eyes on that. I mean, this is something that I've been in since started buying around 170, 185 area was the range. I got lucky. I got a buy in at like a couple option calls at like 147. So those are a few of them. I'm gonna go over Donald Trump media, DJT, with everything that's been going on. So I actually posted this one 2 weeks ago in my Discord, and it pumped pretty hard from the initial entry. I bought a good amount of calls on this one again for later next year in 2025. I sold probably about 75% of them off in this area. I haven't bought back in yet. I still have 25% of them. I'm probably going to see if I can buy back in, depending on prices in the morning. Let's see how they go. But this thing I think is going back up. 618 here, 786 with everything that's going on now. I don't think they would at least pump this to $45. You have a fair value gap here that I think is going to get tested. You have a lower time frame harmonic, since I've looked at this too. You have a couple here. It's like $50, but to be honest, I think this is going to be the proper 5. Yeah, this would be it. I think that's what you'd be looking at. And let me go ahead and take this and just see where the 618 is here. Yeah, around $44. Yeah, that's what I'd be looking at. These areas. This is what I'd be looking at. So if we can get some calls in here, I mean, if you want to play safe, you can get some farther out calls. But we also got to see how it opens, if you guys are going to be able to even get in. But I think this thing goes up to here. So if you can buy some farther out calls, you might give yourself a little leeway, but I think this is going to be a good trade. Then I'm going to go over, I haven't looked at coin in a minute, so bear with me. We are currently above this. So we have the shark. We have the bullish 5-0. We came up to almost 786, which would be a butterfly. I was looking for a minimum 382 pullback to activate the butterfly for the higher prices on coin. We haven't currently got it yet, so I'm kind of watching this. But overall, I mean, it looks like a Livermore pivot on this one, where you're kind of just going up before you get that like parabolic move on this thing. We'll see. I haven't really looked at this one a ton. I'll go back and look over this again off stream because I don't want to hold too much time up, but we'll go over it. And then Open and Redfin. So I started stacking these. They're very cheap for 2025. I think I had 2000. Let me see what I got. I think I got 2026 actually. Yeah, so I got January 16, 2026 calls on these. And I'm just throwing some lotto tickets out there, man. $20 calls, 2026. So Redfin, I don't know if you guys know about Redfin, but it's for real estate, and you can like sell your house on there. They have brokers and everything with the market. And I think with interest rate cuts, the option calls were cheap as fuck when I bought them. I want to say they were like $80 for one option call for 2026, $20. And I mean, dude, if this thing starts to really go and you're getting in like, I don't know, even if you get back up here 24 some bucks, like in the next time, this could be worth a lot of money. These could be really worth a lot of money, especially with interest rate cuts, maybe one the end of the year, and then we're going to get probably maybe 3 to 4 next year. This could really fucking send. I mean, this is when the calls expire. They're cheap. You can stack, I don't know, get 10 for $800 if you guys wanted. I think this could be a really good play here. I mean, the chart looks good, high time frame, and it's really cheap at the moment. You're about to break above this weekly 50 again. 2 week, it's ready to go here soon, man. And if you're just looking lower time frame, and with interest rates and cuts getting in soon, in my opinion, this could be a really good one. I have a bunch of buddies in real estate, and I asked them about it. Some of them hate it because it takes their business and shit, right? But some of them are like, yeah, dude, I mean, now's the time to get it if you want to. And this is just, it looks great to me. Just high time frame. Look how much it's come down to. It's been absolutely crushed. And the normie minds, as soon as you hear interest rate cuts and everything, you know they're going to be aping into this type of shit. And Open was another one I'm looking at. So this one has a macro butterfly on Open, which is, it's another one. These were like, I want to say $50 for 2026 options per at the time. I think they were even cheaper. It was like $30 or $35 for 2026, $7. So I bought some of these too, right? Like I'm just taking some plays on these down in the zone. And minimum, I don't think I'm going to lose money on it. That's for sure. But we'll see. These are higher risk. But, I mean, overall, these look pretty good. If we get above $3 here, I think we can flip that. We can turbo send this one. Well, this is, I mean, my calls expire all the way the fuck out here, right? We'll have theta decay, of course, but we'll see what happens. I think these are going to be some good plays if we start getting interest rate cuts. I'm just thinking ahead. That's very cheap. I had some money sitting around. I'm going to buy some long-term calls on these. All right, I'm going to scroll up and see what you guys want to look at. We looked at stacks. Somebody wanted Magic and Vanry. So Magic swept these equal lows, or these lows down here that we had, pretty much. Yeah, it swept the lowest low. Yeah, deep crap, harmonic. Oh wow. This thing called the exact bottom on it. And your take profits right at the mid daily fair value gap. 85 cents. Yeah, it's a good area, man, if you're going to accumulate. I mean, this is never bad to accumulate if you think the project's good. For the most part, in areas like this, and look to sell at your inflection points in the mid-range area. And then if it runs even higher, you have this area. So yeah, I mean, this looks good. Personally, me right now, I think I'm consolidated in other things that I think are going to run harder at the moment. But yeah, this looks good. I was making a joke with somebody. Yeah, so where do I think Bammer's going to go? I'm like, look, bro, it's a butterfly. We're going to fucking -4 cents. Alright, so we got a bat. Take a screenshot if you want. This is what you'd be looking at. Higher time frame that you would want to trade. Yeah, you tagged your 886. I mean, you would look for a reversal down here. I mean, you'd be blessed if you got another tap of a 0.09 area. Doesn't mean it can't happen. But set alerts here in case you want to add for spot. But it's not a bad area. If you believe in the project, that's up to you. But you do have a harmonic on it, a bullish one. Came all the way down to the 886. A lot of charts did. I mean, OP was one of them too that I posted that hit the 886. This is a new one, right? You're asking me to chart Aether. I mean, this one, I'm pretty sure is brand new, right? You can't, what do you want me to chart? I mean, dude, what is there to chart on this? It's been out for like a month. And you're stuck in like a 30% range. That's, I don't know, man. You got to do fundamental research on this one. Oh, it's Looper. I didn't even read your name when I read it. What's up, Looper? To be honest, I haven't even looked into it that much. I can. I'll write it down. I know I've read about it a little bit, but not enough to form a good opinion. What's the unlock rate? You have any big unlocks? Is it Jupiter? Pretty sure Jupiter had a bat on it. This failed. I gave this to somebody a while ago. Definitely failed. Here, high time frame. I think it has a bat though, or a shark. That was an old chart. Where's the MEXC one? Alright, yeah, this is what I use. This is what I was looking at for an ideal. 886. I don't think it hit though. Maybe when you start the impulse move, it came in and hit the 886. No, it still didn't hit it. Came in the fair value gap though. I mean, that's what you want to see. You filled your weekly one. I mean, it's not a bad chart. I mean, it looks decent down here. I was like ideally looking to get it a little lower, but this is not a bad area. I'm not gonna buy it, but I mean, it could be a good trade. I mean, you're breaking out of the downtrend too. Kind of reminds me of, what was it, GRT? Was it GRT's chart that kind of looked like this when it came out? I don't remember. GRT went straight up for a little bit though. Maybe not. I don't know. That's what I see. Doesn't look bad. Actually looks pretty good. Tao has a shark. I bit Tao recently. This is the other one that's in my port. Yeah. There's a shark. I bid 257. Yeah, 510, 716. Watch those areas if you're looking for a trade. That was my first entry on Tao, down in this area. Cock, no chill, those are all AVAX memes, right? I don't feel like charting those at the moment. I have TradingView open. I don't think they'd even pop up on TradingView, to be honest. And I'm not going to switch over to a web browser. There's a bat. There's a bat here. Or Gartley or something. Yeah, you're at the 86. Yeah, see. There's that. I mean, if you're gonna bid this thing and you like this thing, this is where you bid. What's this one again? don't remember much about this one, I forget. There's so many new coins that have been coming out. ZRO. I'll look into it more. It looks new. Alright, I think that was everything. Somebody asked for Lucid. I'll look at that. Oh, layers. Oh, I forgot that was the ticker. Duh. I think that'll be a good one. I have to look into it a little bit more, though. Who knows? I think it came out when I started relaxing a little bit and just consolidated my bags. I haven't had as much screen time as I was earlier in the year. What up, Rusky? What's up? Did I get everything? Lucid. Look at that fucking candle, dude. I knew this thing was gonna just send at some point, man. It's so damn bad. Didn't they just partner with like Volkswagen? Right? Was it Volkswagen? Am I mistaken? Or is it Rivian that partnered with Volkswagen? I think it was Rivian. Yeah, Rivian partnered with Volkswagen. I think Lucid is open to partnering. This actually didn't quite hit my butterfly. It was Rivian, right? Yeah, I wanted to play this so bad on Rivian. On the butterfly, but it just didn't quite tag it. So I didn't take it. Oof. Dollar is getting below the 236. It could be an impulse down move. High time frame. Could impulse down off the type 2. Yeah, N64, reach out to Vega. If you read his comment, or if you hear me. So there's a type 2 Gartley here. I don't know if you guys can see it. W shape. Boom, 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 boom. I just see them now. It's been a while, so I just visualize them, but this was it here. You had a 618, 618, 786 was here, and you had your first tag come down, type 2 Gartley. That's bearish. Once you get that type 2, you look for your bigger move down on DXY, and it's been happening so far. Now you're getting below the 236, but that's just macro. I'm looking macro on this. I have lined up with your macro fucking 20-year bearish harmonic on the dollar. How many dots did I put on that? Bro. Alright. But yeah, that's what I'm looking at. I mean, if this thing falls, I'm looking at this Gartley to complete down here. There's another harmonic to the upside here too. I've had this one drawn just for forever now with the Gartley. There's a B leg here too for a bat. So if this does come all the way up, I mean, this is your other upwards harmonic. So these are your areas. And these, I mean, I've had these marked for over, this one's been marked for a year now, once we got that 618. This one I've had marked since forever ago, 2022 September. And that when I caught the dollar top at the 886 of a macro bearish bat on the monthly, well, even 3 month, you could look at this thing. I mean, if you look at 3 months, quarterly, you had a macro bearish harmonic on this. So we'll see what happens, right? Like, you get down here, we find dollar strength. You're close to the bottom of a channel area. You have a bullish harmonic. You get up here, you buy everything. If we go up here, you buy everything. Here, you maybe want to take profits for sure. Nice way to try to market the coin. No one's gonna buy it. I should go over the S&P. Oh god, look at that. This is on the log scale on the S&P. Just to let you know, we did hit a 1618 from here to here. Like, we tagged the 1618. We had a reaction. It'll be interesting to see what happens here. That's about all I got though. Think I'm gonna go ahead and cut it out here. Have a good night, guys. See you in the morning. Reach out. Peace.